Hello, Internet. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties, so we are very late, but that's okay. We are here now. Welcome, everyone. Glad you can make it. I don't know if there's... I think there's... Hello, Internet. Welcome, everyone. Let me turn that down. That scared me.
That's
I have to make
weird.
sure... Because I have to do the chat, so I don't want to do it on my desktop I don't want all the space taken from all the things. So, yes, welcome to the Sistah2Sistah podcast, episode whatever. I'm not counting. As you can see, JT is here with me. And we're going to talk about some things. But before, let's get started. Before we get started, can we talk about your birthday coming up on Monday? So you already got some gifts. Do you want to share them with the class?
This is a class?
Not really, but you know what I mean, JT.
Okay, first, last week I told y'all I was adopting a doggy, or trying to, and I got a collar from I like her.
Why is it in there?
It's supposed to be the darker pork gets the taste, I think.
Cool.
Yep. And then I drop it.
And then I also got you a candle.
Oh yeah, and a candle. I forgot about that. I left it in my room.
That's cool. So yeah, JT's birthday is tomorrow. Make sure you tell her happy birthday now because she doesn't have social media. So
I'm a cool kid. I'm too cool for school, for social media.
that is a thing.
That's so true.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. I'm trying to change the title of my podcast because I made a typo. So, yeah.
Don't want to look stupid.
And it's not. There's a fly and a wasp in my house. Where did you go? Oh. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and raise this up because I'm tired of looking down.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a little wobbly for a second.
That's cool. You can wobble with it.
Wobble with it, wobble with it, wobble with it, wobble with it. Oh, this might be a little too high.
We're gonna... Oh, well, let me let you finish that.
Oh, that's what I did. Couldn't remember what I did last time. I remember now. Ow. Where's my laptop?
I don't know.
No, we can talk.
We can talk, but you can't see what's on the screen.
I have my phone in my hand.
Okay. Well, it says, calls grow to delay Kavanaugh vote after accuser goes public. Now, accuser as in, is it a rape thing or is it sexual assault? Now, it's like any type of opposition that comes up with anything from, like any type of good thing that the right or any type of centrist group brings on that's running for office, the left will accuse of rape every single time.
Every single time.
Or they're unfaithful to their wives or something like that. It's always the case. I don't think
they realize how many times they accuse us of racism and rape.
All the time.
It's a little old.
It's not old to them because they keep. And I think this time it's going to be. We can see through it. I hope the public sees through it because they tried to do it with that one senator from what was it? I can't remember.
They've done it with everybody.
Everybody, yeah, they did it with Trump. Yeah, Herman Cain was I don't know if it was it sexual assault Or was it just that he was unfaithful?
Cheated on his wife or something. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's anything to be not nominated for.
Yeah. I thought Herman Cain would be a
I understand
president.
It's immoral, and, you know, the Bible says don't do that, but...
Well, it's just their tactic, you know? It's what they like to do. And the more... I guess the more of the high ground that they take, the better they look. So they're trying to illegitimize Brett Kavanaugh by accusing him of rape.
I don't understand that logic because they know it's not true.
Yeah, they know it's not true, but the public is the overwhelming majority of the public are normies, and so whenever you get. They don't know that there's much more to, you know, this whole left and right issue. It goes deeper. So let's just read the article.
Okay.
It says, a vote on Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court was at risk of delay on Sunday as members of the Senate Judiciary Committee from both parties said allegations of sexual assault from 35 years ago may require additional review. 35 years ago. So, of course, it was probably like when he was straight out of college. I don't know how old he is. 35
High school.
Years. High school. Let's see what it says. A vote by the Senate Judiciary Committee was scheduled for this week, but Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat from California, called for the delay shortly after the Washington Post published a story naming the woman who says that Kavanaugh tried to sexually assault her when they were both teenagers. What do you know? Come on, guys. Be original. Just be original. Like this is the same thing with that Senate seat that happened in that one state I can't remember. And
Alabama.
Alabama. It's like a broken record. And, you know, the only reason that they do it is because it works. But I don't know if it's going to work this time. I don't think it's going to work this time.
Hopefully we break their cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like all these women that went to high school with these two people, Brett Kavanaugh and the accuser, all these women wrote letters saying Brett Kavanaugh was a gentleman then and he's a gentleman now and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, so we have all these people saying there's no way Brett Kavanaugh could have done this. He was a gentleman ever since I've known him. He's never laid a hand on any woman. And he has all these accounts, all these women saying no. And there's this one hoe. There's this one female dog. There's this one idiot that said, yes, he did. And then Dianne Feinstein of California had this accusation back in July. So, if she really thought it was credible, if it was serious, why did she just now come out with it? Why? All this 3 or 4 day debacle of all these questions, and she didn't think to ask that question. Did you sexually assault someone in high school? We have an accusation. And then FBI, get involved, do a little bit of investigation, and then we could find out. We would know right now if the FBI found anything. But no, as soon as we are ready to vote, check yes or no, she's like, oh, by the way, you sexually assaulted someone, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yeah, that's them scrambling because they don't have any. They used all their cards. They used the Cory Booker Spartacus moment. They used all the interruptions from angry, ugly feminists. They used all of their tactics, and it didn't work. So they're like, well, rape. We can use the rape card. So they used the rape card. That's all it is.
I don't understand.
It says
I'm not really concerned, but I am fearful Maybe I am concerned. I'm concerned about the generation that hasn't been born yet. They're going to have history books. They're going to have this new future MP3 video player, and they're going to have access to all this crap. Mm-hmm. And it's shameful. I know, just like the Holocaust was shameful, just like slavery was shameful. And this is not on the level of those two. Mm-hmm. But I was like, how can you live with how can you look yourself in the mirror and be a public servant if you're going to act like this? I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I don't see how it's appealing. I don't see how people vote them in. Mm-hmm. I do not understand.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, it's the left. They didn't expect Trump to become president, so they're scrambling to try and keep what little power they have. So they'd have to delay Kavanaugh because he's a dirty centrist. So it says on the article, it says, the woman, Christine Bailey Ford, spoke to the Post on the record and confirmed the details that had previously been reported in other outlets, including The New Yorker. Oh, so The New Yorker said it, so that means it must be good. It says, Ford said that one night in the 1980s, when she was in high school, a drunken Kavanaugh pinned her to a bed and attempted to pull off her clothing and uncovered her mouth as she tried to scream. She was able to flee after Kavanaugh's friend Mark jumped on them. I thought he might inadvertently kill me. He was trying to attack me and remove my clothing. At first, she vowed to never speak of the incident, she said, but the trauma eventually drove her to seek therapy. Let's keep going. She brought up the incident in a couple's therapy session in 2012, she said. And then Kavanaugh says, I categorically and unequivocally deny this allegation. I did not do this back in high school or at any time. That's what he says. So, she went to couples therapy. I was like, oh my God, someone tried to pull my clothes off and cover my mouth, and I am traumatized. I mean, and I'm not trying to minimize her experience. Again, I'm not trying to minimize her experience, but
yes, I am. I
do not believe her.
I am sick of people using this as defense. This is not a defense. And I'm so sick of people saying, I'm not trying to minimize their experience. Yes, I am. I don't care. I am trying to minimize her experience because it's a lie. And if it's not a lie, then
you should have reported it in the beginning.
You should have reported it so he would have never became a judge. Mm-hmm. I am so sick and tired of these stupid idiot feminists painting themselves as these strong, independent women, but when it comes to men, if they mistreat them in any way, they become these weak, frail, little teeny tiny, half not even human things, whatever you want to call them, and now they're victims all of a sudden because of some guy said something bad to them. I'm sick of it. You can't be this strong, independent woman and this frail victim at the same time.
Well, they try to be.
Have it both
ways. Yes, that is their shtick. No, look, I understand what you're saying, JT, but that is the feminist MO. MO.
It's not working. It's not going to work.
It's been working for so long.
No. They've only been getting away with it. It has not been working.
What do you getting away with it means it works?
No, it doesn't. They can probably claim that they've been raped, and then they'll do some investigation, and then New York Times can put it at the very bottom of the last page of their stupid newspaper saying that the accusations were false. They can do that all day, but there is a generation coming up, and this is going to hurt them. They can get away, or they probably are getting away with it now, but it's going to bite them seriously in the butt in a few more years. Okay. They're going to have to come up with another tactic, and there's no more tactics. There's not anything left. They've already called us Nazis and racists and rapists and
there's always going to be another tactic. There's always going to be something new that they can think of.
And the left will think of it, and they will perfect it. But by then, we will see through it.
I hope so.
They already see through it.
Yeah, I know.
It's just that we aren't as loud as them. Trust me.
Everybody
sees through this crap. Even the Democrats, some Democrats, and some centrists, and all the Republicans see through this crap.
I know. And my hope is that the general public who are not invested in these type of things, they don't know anything, that they will see they'll see the Democrats for what they are, and they are corrupt. They're liars. They will do anything to gain power. And that is just by putting down black people, putting down all minorities, despite what everyone says about them being the champion of minorities. They're not. So I hope
if they were such champions, minorities would be flourishing.
I know. But that's the thing. So and they try to blame it on us. They try to blame it on Republicans. So that's the story. Kavanaugh has been accused of rape in a desperate attempt to deny him his
very desperate.
Yeah. So that happened. So let's go on to Ruth Bader Ginsburg talking about the Senate confirmation hearings. This is a 4-minute YouTube video that we are going to watch. I have not seen this, so we will react
so
as it goes.
Looking ahead a little bit, last week we saw the Senate hold confirmation hearings for a nominee to your court. Many observers have said that the process today looks nothing like your confirmation hearing 25 years ago. President Clinton nominated you in June of 1993, and you were confirmed by the Senate 2 months later by a vote of 96-3. I might add that the National Asian Pacific American Bar Association was pleased to support your nomination. How would you compare the process that you went through with what's going on today in that process?
The way it was right. The way it is wrong.
Can I just pause it real quick? My God.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I thought she fell asleep for a second.
She's just really old. And I don't mean no shade, no tea, no nothing, but we're going to get another SCOTUS nomination.
I mean, wait. She got, I don't know if it's standing ovation, but she got an ovation of some kind for what, 7 words?
Yeah, I mean, she's old. She's really old. She can barely keep her face up because of, I guess she's got some type of, she's just, how old people, they just hunch over. That's what's happening. So weird.
I do not want to be working when I'm that old. I don't care if it's on the Supreme Court. No, I want to be retired in Vegas, not Vegas, no, like Miami or.
No, not even Miami. Gross. I'll be in Hawaii.
I'll just stay in Texas. I'll just stay in Texas, and I'm gonna retire. I'm not even gonna have like a ranch. Cause I don't want to do anything. I don't even open my own door.
Oh my
when
gosh.
I'm that old.
You're
no,
so extra.
I am being serious.
I know you're being serious. I know.
If I make it to that age, I better have some kind of assistant, and there's no way. There's no way. I don't see how that's appealing in any form or fashion. Being that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're so silly.
The atmosphere in '93 was truly bipartisan. The vote on my confirmation was 96-3. Even though I had spent about 10 years of my life litigating cases under the auspices of the ACLU board, ACLU, and I was on the ACLU board and one of their general counsel. My White House handlers asked me questions about my ACLU affiliation. They were very nervous about it. And I said, forget it, just forget it. There's nothing you can do that will lead me to badmouth the ACLU. Mm-hmm. And not a single question. No senator asked me any question about that. It was the same for Justice Breyer, who was nominated a year later. He had in the 90s the numbers. Or think of Justice Scalia, who is certainly a known character in what was it, 1986? He had been a law professor and written many things. He had been on the DC circuit. The vote was unanimous. Every Democrat and every Republican voted for him. But that's the way it should be. Instead of what it's become, which is a highly partisan show. The Republicans move in lockstep, so do the Democrats. I wish I could wave a magic wand and have it go back to the way it was.
Oh my God, she is painful to watch, but she's right. She's right. Back in the day, it didn't matter if you were a Democrat or Republican. If you were a good judge, you were a good judge, and you were voted unanimously. So the way it is now, it's highly partisan, and it's a show. She was the words that she used was a show. It's a show, and that's exactly right. They're doing it for the virtue signal points and the time on TV, especially Cory Booker. Oh, it's my Spartacus moment. Oh, look at me, I'm being so bad. Like shut up. And if we could just use our brains, and just do what we need to do as a government. The government is not to get power to further your agenda. The government is made to be for the people. We, the people, are your boss. You are not our boss. You don't get to tell us what to do. You have an agenda on the table. We vote on it. And that's it. It shouldn't be that hard. So, about to fall over and see her ultimate demise. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was right on the money. What are your thoughts? What? Coming from you, that's.
Well, I've never said she's about to meet her demise.
We all are about to meet our demise. She's just a little bit quicker than the rest. She looked at what? Okay,
I know. I was about to cry.
Okay,
but
in chat it says she reminds me of an aunt who was hunched over and weak, died like a month after I saw her. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I hope that rest in peace, Auntie. And then Insane Hermit says Dems are getting her to court each day like Weekend at Bernie's. That's like a dumb movie, by the way. Weekend at Bernie's is so stupid, but that was funny.
Whew, okay. You know, I wish I had that magic wand too.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I had that magic wand in the shape of a bike lock that I could hit all the Democrats upside the head with.
So you're that professor who hit that dude with the bike lock?
But see, it would be a magic wand though, and it would give them some sense. And they would thank me afterwards, because you know what, like, before you hit me upside the head with that magic wand like bike lock, I was stupid. Thank you, John Tisha.
Oh yeah, and then that bike lock dude, he's out of jail now. He's only gonna serve probation. Yep. Just probation.
For assault.
Yeah.
It
could have been.
Was it just assault, or was it assault? Well, it's probably not a deadly weapon.
I mean, come on, though. Okay, yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, it very well could have been deadly. He could have had like brain damage. His life could have been different.
Yep.
Forever.
Mm-hmm. I know we got off the subject, but that's crazy. He got off, yeah. But the confirmation hearings. Why is it so crazy? Because whenever Gorsuch got nominated by Trump because of I don't know, whatever, they did the same thing, but it wasn't as intense. You know, they tried to delay the hearing. They tried to do the nuclear option or whatever, and that backfired on them so bad.
It's because now the Republicans, like, that makes a difference when you're interpreting the Constitution.
Right.
It shouldn't make any difference whatsoever if they nominated a talking kangaroo, a Republican, a Democrat, a Nazi.
Well, hopefully that won't happen.
It wouldn't make a difference if they read the Constitution
and they interpreted
and then
correctly.
They read the law and they interpreted it like, is this law, or is the Constitution saying back when it was written, not what it means today? No. That's not how it works.
I feel you.
When the Constitution was written, do you think that this law could fit in the Constitution the way it was written?
Right.
That's all they're supposed to do.
Yeah. And I don't know why the Democrats are thinking anything otherwise. Like, he's not going to go in there and be like, well, I'm here now, let's overturn Roe v. Wade. Like, that's what the Democrats think.
He doesn't have the power to do that.
Yeah, I know. Because he would be outvoted. He would be outvoted, for one.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. And even if they make it a state's issue, the way it should be, if they make it a state's issue the way it should be, then I still don't think he would be able to do that. Like, if they unanimously vote to make it a state's issue, I honestly think he would not vote for that. He would say, it's already law. I don't want to create any controversy because he's a centrist type of... I mean, he's a conservative, but he's center right, okay? To me, anyway.
Like the nation? Like the United States of America is center right? He's center right?
Yes, he's like an average
bringing
American.
that up.
Yes, yeah. So
I just like bringing that up.
It's nothing to this guy. I mean, all he's gonna do is his job. It's not gonna be anything controversial to him. It's like they're making a big deal out of nothing. The Democrats, like, honestly, like, what is so bad about him that they need to do all this lying and stuff to bring him down? Because they want someone who will not interpret the Constitution correctly and get their agenda.
Their way.
Yeah.
Feelings in it. That's exactly right, Sandra. You nailed it. That is exactly what they want. Yeah. That is why they are so upset, because they want somebody to disregard the Constitution and fulfill their agenda.
Yep. Because who did Obama nominate? Because he knew that she was going to do all the things. Yeah, exactly. So they thought that Hillary was going to be the one to become president, and that, you know, any type of SCOTUS nominee that she was going to get was going to not do what they were supposed to do, and that was not their plan. So all the stuff that they were going to do, man, it's just, you know, it's so good to see the liberals get owned like this but you know, I said this over and over again. I did not vote for Trump, but if the election were today, I would vote for him. Okay, so I was shocked whenever he became president. Like, I was like, what? And I was so
Everybody
relieved.
was, girl.
Yeah, I was so relieved. I was so relieved. So, the fact that he gets to nominate 2 SCOTUSes, maybe 3. But, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. If he gets a second term, there's little doubt in my mind that he's going to get another one.
Yeah.
Very little doubt.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though RBG, she's one of the OG people, and she's the champion of the left because her views on abortion and leftist policies and stuff like that. But she doesn't use those views of hers to vote in SCOTUS things. When it came to that cake shop dude or whatever, she voted in the favor of free speech. Of course, Sotomayor didn't, but just like she's a cool chick. I like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. May she live long. That's
she has
longer.
She definitely has
longer. Okay, let's go to the next thing. I already read that one. Let's talk about more fake hate crimes. Yay! So how
my
many?
Favorite subject.
It's like Matt Christensen. If you haven't seen his podcast with Blonde and the Belly of the Beast, and it's called, I forget what it's called. Beauty and the Beta. Yeah, Beauty and the Beta. I think it's going on at the same time that our podcast is going on, but that's whatever. But their podcast is great. But check out his channel. He has nearly a weekly segment on his channel where he uploads a video on fake hate crimes. A weekly segment for fake hate crimes. Like, what? Like, it's so common that people can talk about this weekly. And it's
always black people.
Exactly. It's always either black people or LGBTQI, PPA, element of people.
Solid number 2.
Yeah, silent number 2. Don't forget, you can't exclude the silent number 2 people. How dare you? So yeah, it says, police says woman faked story about Trump-related hate crime. And this is her mugshot because you can't make up fake crimes. I mean, it should be common knowledge. No one is going to...
It's against the law.
Yeah, people
Kavanaugh
think...
accuser.
People think that, like, if you make up a crime thing that, everyone's gonna... Well, I mean, the left will, The left will champion you. Be like, oh my God, poor baby. Look at Trump's America. He's hateful. Ignore Antifa, please. We don't care about Antifa. Ignore all of the school shooters that 98% are leftist Democrats. Don't forget about that. Yeah. So, let's read.
And for some reason, Antifa's like all. They said 98% black.
Yeah, right. There are a bunch of middle class white kids who are LARPing to bring about socialism, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. But let's go on with the story. It says Adoa Lewis, 19, told detectives Friday 4 teenagers confronted her as she was driving home on September 2nd, yelling "Trump 2016" when it's already 2018. What? Before stating that she did not belong here. Lewis also... She couldn't
say Trump 2020 to make it just a little bit more believable.
I know, right? But that's just they don't think about stuff like that. Okay.
Because they're stupid.
Lewis also claimed that she parked her vehicle in front of her house, then woke up the next morning to find her car's tire slashed with the words "Go home." Like, okay, if people are gonna be racist in this country, okay, they're probably not going to do that. They're probably going to kidnap you and kill you, okay? Because, like, that's just, like, they're not going to be, like, hazing or, bullying and stuff like that, okay? Because, like, the latest, like, the last hate crime that I can think of was in Jasper where they drugged that black guy down the street. Those are racists, okay? They are not kidding around. They're not playing around. They're going to try and harm you. the racists nowadays.
I don't know a timid racist. I've never heard of one. Like, if there is a true blue OG racist, they're going to be a racist.
Yeah. They're not going to be...
They're going to hurt, kill, mangle something you to try and get rid of that race.
Exactly.
Why would they slash your tires? Are they... It's like, you should have bought Michelin!
Yeah,
Fords only! I'm a Chevy guy. Like,
yeah.
Stupid.
And
that has never made sense to me.
We grew up in East Texas, right? We experienced racism a lot. It's like in the chat, someone says that they experience racism and classism all the time. I don't know about classism. Everyone thought we were rich. I don't know why, but like East Texas racism just like was just a regular like thing, but they didn't have like, it's hard to explain, but they weren't like racist in the sense they wanted to hurt us, but if they weren't gonna do anything, they were just like, I can't explain
it. It was all like, for me, it was always threats of harm or something physical. Yeah. I had an old man take his cane and put it on me and move me out of the way because I was in the way of his path. That physically happened to me.
Was it at Walmart?
Yeah. I was a door greeter, and there was plenty of room around me, but he got in my lane and moved me over and continued walking.
Yeah. And then whenever
I don't know how to explain that, but racist.
Yeah. Whenever I was at Lowe's, I experienced racism and sexism a lot because I was in the lumber department. And there was one time, like, I think I have some type of gift or curse, I don't know which one it is really, that like if someone is talking bad about me, like to my face, I can't understand them. God just puts like the scrambler in their voices and I can't understand them. I know it was racist because like the person that was walking by was just like, oh, how dare you, you know, like, oh my gosh, this is like, it was like 2004 or something like that. It's 2004. Get with the times, you know, that was their face. So they were saying some things. I really don't remember what they said. Whenever I remember it, it's just mumble jumble. But yeah. So, and then sexism, just because I was a woman in the man department of lumber, that was just nothing. But with this Trump 2016, I'm gonna slash your tires. That's like a misdemeanor, okay? Like, if they're gonna go in and be racist against you, they're probably gonna go all in, okay?
Yeah, because there was another time when I was working at Walmart, and I think I've told you this before, like, my manager and the supervisors of the cashiers, they told me to go hide in the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah, there was a dude after me, and I had to hide in the bathroom. Because we were in East Texas, and we were like one of the 20 black people there.
Dude, so, that's why everyone's like, oh, I'm going to stay in East Texas forever, and it's my home here. And then I'm like, I wouldn't stay there.
No, we were like, deuces,
I know. And then like people ask me,
I want to live.
There was one person that asked, I was like, there's not really racists in East Texas. I've never seen any racist in Texas. I'm like, I mean, not Texas, but East Texas. I'm like, that's because you're white. For one,
I was like, okay, whitey.
No, and then you don't see a lot of black people in your towns and stuff like that. And even if you do, it's not that, that racism is everywhere, but it's enough for me to leave and not want to go back ever. I mean, if I go there, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, racism, oh no. No, I'm not going to be scared, but I'm not going to actively go back there unless I have to. Yeah. So let's read.
Was still down there, and the boys would say, "When are you coming down?" And they would bait me into going down there. I mean, I hated it. Not only were there just racist people, and then slow tractors on the highway.
Oh my God, that was the worst.
It smelled like cow pee and dead fish
all the time. People love fishing. Like where we used to grow up was a country haven. People would hunt, fish. raise cattle. It was truly country. No road. You can't go down 10 roads without seeing cattle. You can't.
Yeah, in potholes.
In potholes.
Actual dirt.
Mobile homes everywhere. Like, we were one of the only houses in our neighborhood that was built from the ground up and not manufactured on the back of an 18-wheeler. Not to say that mobile homes are bad, you know, they can be really pretty, but every single home was a modular home except for a few that were like on the lake. Those, whoa, that wasp is back. There's like on the lake there were some really you know, like custom built homes and stuff like that for like retired people. Don Nelson, remember the former coach of the Mavs? He was one of those people. I checked him out. Huh?
I said I saw him at Walmart buying some Levi's. No, wait, no, they didn't have Levi's. It was like Raider jeans or some off.
Yeah, he went to Lowe's and bought like a tackle box. He's like a little toolbox that he used for fishing and stuff. Lots of old people go to where we used to live. But yeah.
Where they go to retire.
Yep. I don't know why. Because there's nothing there. It took you 20 minutes to get to Walmart. I hated it over there. Oh, God. You had to go all the way to Mesquite, what they call Dallas.
Just to buy clothes.
I know.
I was like, I need some quality shoes.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Mesquite. And I remember whenever I was in college, it was like, oh, we're going to Dallas. We're going to go to the mall. I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's go to Dallas. Go to the mall. And then we get there. I'm like, this is Mesquite. This is not Dallas. This is not the same. It is like East Texas 2.0. Okay, like get me out of here. So, that got on my nerves. But anyways, let's read this article. Let's continue forward. It says, but when the authorities investigated her alleged incident, police found that Lewis fabricated the tale and the incident never took place. Lewis later admitted to the officers that she placed the handwritten note on her car.com. It's gonna be on the screen here in a second. It's by year of the reports of fake hate crimes. So as you can see, these are the 90s. And then, this is when Obama became president in 2008, and it slowly went up. Well, the 2014 was pretty good, but it slowly went up. It was on an uptrend, and now in 2016, bam, just shot up. And in 2017, it went down, but it looks like it's going down now because they always keep getting caught. But this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at the number of hate crimes just because Trump became president. And people are saying, oh, being a victim is hard, and I understand being a real victim is hard. But people take advantage of victimhood to gain power. But by the way, you're out of focus, JT. Can you make yourself in focus somehow? Can you not oh my god.
Is this better?
No. Blurry, just way you can gain power, and if you gain power you can control the agenda. So that's what they do, and people are encouraged to do it. I don't know, have you seen that video by Blair White?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So the right does it too, and I wish she would have spilled that tea on who she was talking about in the green room. There's only two that I can think of where there's a green room. It's either Steven Crowder or Dave Rubin. But Dave Rubin is a lefty, so you think it was Steven Crowder?
No.
You don't think so?
I'm pretty sure there's more than one, or more than two green rooms.
Maybe Jesse Lee Peterson. That one. That's amazing.
I'm sorry. I love him. I honestly, and I don't know these people, but I don't believe any of those three would do that.
Okay.
I really don't.
I'm gonna try and
especially like Steven Crowder has a segment called Steven Crowder Confronts.
Not true.
Even if he was 100% sure that this would never get out, why would you take that risk and look like the biggest hypocrite ever?
Well, people already think he's a hypocrite.
For what?
I don't know. They just do. People. He's a popular right wing, a personality, so of course.
And that makes him hypocritical. How?
I don't know, but they just call him hypocrite because he believes in one thing and says another and stuff like that. I can't give examples, but This kind of correlates with,
It's not a very good hypocrite if they don't make their case and you don't even know why he's a hypocrite.
Well, I mean, they probably made their case, but I can't remember what it is. I just remember.
I know. Exactly. That's my point. If you can't remember, you don't know what they're talking about, not a very good argument.
Okay, well. But yeah, this kind of ties into that Blair White thing because it's fake. You know, they were like, oh, can you do this and, you know, make it look better? And it's not really a fake hate crime, but they use that to further their cause and their agenda. And the right is not innocent. They're just a little bit less guilty, I guess. You know, they don't do it as often. and
I don't know if this is just me. I'm probably just skeptical of everything. But when Blair White was telling that story, I'm like, how do I know you're not lying? That's literally what I was thinking. Because I'm like, it's not like you've always told the truth.
Yeah.
But
another thing that I think whenever I was thinking about it, I'm like, she has drawn away from her political stuff ever since she got that drink thrown in her face.
And I would too.
Yeah, but and not only that, she got way more popular after that.
I mean, that's not her fault. She got more popular.
I understand that.
Casualties of war.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I would take a step back too. If it was messing up my life, I'm like, I'll vote for you in 2020, but deuces.
Bye. Yeah, it's getting to a point to where like the crimes that are committed against the right, like the beating up at protests, and whenever Trump first got elected, some old dude got taken out of his car and beat up just for being white. And then just people who are white, they're assumed to be Trump supporters, and if you have any type of criticism against the left, they're demeaned and bullied and stuff like that, and sometimes even beat up. Like those 3 or 4 teenagers in Chicago that kidnapped that special needs white boy. And I think I don't know what their sentence was, but it's just crazy, and it hardly ever gets news whenever it's to us, unless it's major, like those teenagers.
And I'm sorry, every time we talk about all these fake reports and all these beat ups and all the lies, I cannot help but think, thanks, Obama.
Honestly, he was the one that made SJWs mainstream. He was the one that were like
the reason for all this hostility. He is the reason. He gave every future black president, he has officially gave them a hard time because he was the black president that made this mess.
See, but he's half black. Okay, we haven't had a real black president ever.
If your parental sperm, if the sperm is black, therefore you are black.
Okay,
if his father was black, if his father was white and his mother was black, they would still call him black, but technically he wouldn't be black.
Okay, but still, he is still half black, half white. And we haven't had a real black president in this country. And I honestly, there's nothing that Obama has done that was significant. Every single time someone is like, oh, look at what Obama did to the country, and they give examples, they were all failures. All of them were failures. All of them. Oh, the Obama economy, fail. Oh, the healthcare, fail. The infrastructure, failed. Oh, he brought jobs, failed. Everything he did, failed.
Maybe that's why everybody's so bitter, because he was the first black president and all he did was mess up stuff. And then he didn't trust the process. He didn't trust anybody, so he just signed a whole bunch of executive orders because he thought he knew best.
Right. All right, we are done talking about the fake hate crimes. I want to bring up remember we were listening to Andrew Klavan and about the economy and how Trump is the reason that the economy is doing better. And a lot of leftists will say, oh, it was on an uptrend before Trump became president, so it's really Obama that did it. False. false, 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 false. I didn't look up the examples, but there is audio and video on the internet of not Trump, but Obama saying, "Get used to slow growth. This is the new normal. Those jobs that you had before are gone. They're
never
not coming back."
He said that, and it wasn't like the beginning of his term either.
Nope. This was towards the end.
He said, "Just go ahead, tie up your shoelaces, get comfortable. Wait, take off your shoes. Get comfortable. This is the new normal. Those jobs that went to China, they're never coming back."
Yep.
And
I remember he said that. I was like,
1 year of Trump, and they all came back, and we hit 3% growth.
Yep. And then not only that, people are saying that because it was an uptrend before he became president. Before Trump became president. I remember Trump visiting all of these major businesses, saying, when I become president, and I want all your employees to vote for me, because he was campaigning so hard, and Hillary was hoping that all of her celebrity friends would campaign for her, and she didn't do any of this. Going around to all the businesses saying, "Hey, if you vote for me and all your employees vote for me, you're going to get some tax cuts. Bring your jobs back to America, the ones that said, Obama said are going to be gone, and then you'll get to reap the benefits of your tax cuts and deregulations." And they're like, "All right, I'm sold." So they did it, and all those jobs came back. And even before he became president, just the promise and the hope that he would become president made the economy better. That is a fact. And you can look that up. There was people saying the economy, the economists were like, "Oh, well, he's right. We're gonna have slow growth because there's no jobs that are there. Yeah. All the jobs have left America, and all the jobs that Obama had were those shovel-ready jobs. Remember that? Yeah. The shovel-ready jobs,
like the census jobs that was only like for 6 months, but they counted that towards the numbers because they gave him the biggest cushion for every topic ever.
Yeah, he counted the Uber jobs. Yeah, he counted the Uber jobs, the Lyft jobs, the temporary jobs that had no benefits or anything. Delivering the anything where you got a little bit of cash, he counted. And so the people,
all the drug dealers,
and all the part-time people.
And it wouldn't surprise me that he counted illegal immigrants too.
Yeah, I bet he did. And then there were people who were he didn't count the people. He omitted a whole group of people, the ones that were out of work and not looking anymore. They omitted those people, so it inflated the numbers, and it made it look like the economy was better than it was, or the job rate, or whatever unemployment rate was better than it was. And so they used all this to help him, all of this, and then Trump was like, "Hey, I'll cut your taxes," and the business was like, "Oh my God, yeah." So they
just finally,
yeah,
because I really hated in Tokyo.
Yeah, in China. Who wants to be in China? Despite China being a global powerhouse, they're still communists. They still control. There's an actress, a very famous actress in China, who is missing. No one knows where she is. She was a spokesperson for all of these major brands, like De Beers and these watch people, the fancy watches. And she was just at the Cannes Film Festival and the Met Gala this year. And we haven't heard from her in months. And the Chinese government is not saying anything. So keep that in mind. China may be, a place where they're a competition is because they have 1 billion people. That's the only reason why.
That's the only
reason why.
Because they have 1 billion people.
Yeah, basically.
That's it. Not because they have good ideas or their tech industry or their healthcare or their innovations and small business owners.
There's so many cities in China, and the only one that really makes a difference is Beijing. And then Hong Kong is technically part of China, but they're the only capitalist nation that is Chinese, but they don't consider themselves Chinese, and that's the one that's booming because they're capitalists. They don't do socialism. So if you're going to go to China,
notice how they don't consider themselves Chinese.
Yeah, well, they're Chinese, but they
they don't. They don't claim it.
Yeah,
I'm Hong Kongian.
yeah, because like the country is called the People's Republic of China, even though they're not a republic at all. They just like to put that in the name because America does it. And then Hong Kong, they still use Chinese currency and everything, but all the people who wanted to flee socialism and communism went to Hong Kong, and they're Chinese, but the Chinese government just like, you know, let them do what they do. We the real People's Republic, you know. So that's one thing. So let's end the podcast with this story. A lot of people have been talking about this. I sent it to you in a text message. We're gonna watch the video because it's freaking ridiculous. You're in America. Granted, it's a very Hispanic part of America. But dang it, if you can't speak Spanish... Cuban. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Let's turn on the sound. Where's the sound? Oh, the sound is on
purpose. You see this? Yeah. Ma'am, so no house. Nobody here speak English. Nobody in the back speak English. No. So you can't take my order. You won't understand what I'm saying? But you speak something though. Yeah, but I want to order food. No hay nadie que hable inglés. Yo. Mi vida, tengo carro atrás. No, I want to order. You not finna tell me to leave and I want to order. En la 29, 29th Avenue. Well, the line gonna be held.
She said to go to another location on 29th Avenue. Lord.
Well, they won't get their food because I want to order.
Oh, that is insane.
You're gonna call police on me.
You call the police? I'm trying to order and she's telling me I can't order because she don't speak English. Who's wrong? What did I do wrong? Hello? I'm trying to order.
¿Te puedes mover, por favor? Tengo orden atrás.
Okay, but I want to order food.
No hay nadie que hable inglés. ¿Te puedes mover,
that
por
doesn't
favor?
make any
no hay
sense.
nadie que hable inglés.
You're not making any sense.
Okay, te llamo a la policía.
Call the police. I didn't do nothing. I'm trying to order food.
Carro atrás.
Okay, but I want to order food and you telling me you can't order my food because you don't speak English. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't mean nothing because this is Hialeah. This is America. Y'all don't take over the whole population.
Okay,
excuse me. I'm trying to order food and...
No hay nadie que hable inglés.
Okay, so she won't understand. Well, she don't know the menu. She won't understand what I'm saying.
No, mi amor. ¿El menú? ¿No entienden el menú? No, no entiendo nada.
¿Será? ¿No entiende el menú? The menu. The menu.
Sí lo entiendo, no quiero.
The menu.
Ella no entiende el menú. Ay, lo
siento. 1, 2, 3, 4, the menu.
No más, papi.
Que ellos no entienden el menú,
dice. That doesn't make any sense to me. This is not making any sense and this is not right.
Señorita, ¿se puede mover, por
I'm not
favor?
talking to you. She doesn't want to help me because she don't speak English. But you know the menu. You work here, so you would know what I'm talking about if I say I want number 6 on the menu. You understand what I'm saying? Like you just don't completely shut me out because you don't speak English. That's not fair. You understand what I'm saying? So if I say I want a number 6 on the menu, you can put that on the computer and take my order. Don't tell me you can't take my order because you don't speak English.
No comprendo.
And look at she's still saying she don't understand.
She understand.
That's crazy. It's okay. I'm gonna take down the store number. I'll be here tomorrow. What's your name?
Luisa.
Luisa. Okay. I'll be here tomorrow, Luisa.
Okay.
She understood that.
And in the comments, there were people that spoke Spanish that said, she replied, I just don't want to.
Really?
Yeah.
She understand, but she don't want to understand?
I know, but notice how she was replying to everything she said.
Girl.
If you are Hispanic, Cuban, whatever, you know at least I want a number 6.
Mm-hmm. You can say numero 6.
Yes. You understand that. They know. At least, like, everybody knows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 8, 10. Mm-hmm. They know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
They No.
And then you can say like no tomato, no onion. I mean, they know.
And then like the Spanish language and English language, some of that
they intertwine. Yeah.
It was like tomato.
And so, well, onion is sabayo, but I mean, who they know what onion and sabayo mean. I mean, they can say onion if they want. They know. They know.
You can't tell me she's that old and a manager. Mm-hmm. She was a manager, and she doesn't at least know how to count to 10 in English.
Everybody knows how to count to 10 in English. Everybody knows, especially if you are from Hispanic descent, you know a little bit of English words because everyone wants to be in America. I mean, that's just real. Everyone, I mean, I even know some French words. Everyone knows a little bit of something, okay? Everybody, especially when you're neighboring countries. So, it was unacceptable. And then she was
replying to everything.
Mm-hmm. What's your name? Louisa. If you can't understand what I'm saying, so, like, why would you
know what's your name, but you don't know number 6?
Exactly. Yeah. Because, I mean, they don't even sound similar in English and Spanish. Like, ¿Cómo se llama? What's your name? They don't even correlate with each other. They don't sound similar. So, for her to be like, my name is Louisa, and when she asked it in English, that just goes to show she does understand. She was fired, I think.
Yeah,
she was fired.
She most definitely was. Everybody that came, there was 3 people that came to that window. Mm-hmm. All of them should not have a job.
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't care if they have 17 children at home. Yeah. I do not care.
And then I remember during Politicon, I think it was 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago, I can't remember, Ann Coulter was trying to make the point that illegal immigrants, I don't know if they were illegal or not over there, but it is hurting black people who are legal citizens.
That point and proved it.
Exactly, right here. All the people that they hired at that Taco Bell speak Spanish. And some black teenager who is an American citizen, like I said, I don't know if they were American citizens or not, but if you're going to come to this country, you need to speak the language. And if you can't speak the language, then you're denied entry if you on your little thing, right? So if they are not...
Apparently not. All you have to do is say there's a Cuban cartel coming after me.
But Obama, I don't know, he needs to, because I remember Obama stopped that. It was right at the end of his presidency too, and no one batted an eye. What? He said that the people who come on boats in Cuba, if they step foot in America, they're allowed to claim like refugee status. He stopped that. You don't remember that? It was foot down.
I remember.
I forget.
But that doesn't mean it's not happening.
I don't know, but he stopped it.
If the Mexicans can do it and Central Americans can do it, what makes them think that Cubans aren't going to do it?
I don't know. But
and that is being, you can't do that. That's being not racist, but you can't give one group of people preferential treatment and they can claim refugee status, but not somebody else.
I don't know.
You can't do that.
But I don't know if Mexicans are really claiming refugee status.
They're just they are.
Oh, okay. Well, dang.
That's all they've been doing.
I don't know.
All you have to do is go to a port of entry and claim that you're seeking not refugee, asylum.
Yeah.
That they are seeking asylum and they're in. Cubans can do the same thing.
I'm gonna Google it really quick because I remember him doing that. I'm like, what the heck? They're under a communist regime under Fidel Castro's son. He may not be as bad as Fidel Castro, but why?
Still communism.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Still have a breadline.
As of January 12th, 2017. It says 2017. Yeah, this was right before
Obama.
Yeah, no, it was right before. Well, yeah. It's so weird. I know that it says 2017, but it says the same date on all of them. Huh? This must be a glitch.
Unless he put it in motion and then it was finally approved in 2017.
Maybe, I don't know. It just says all the articles have the same date, and I don't know if that's. Let me just look at this Guardian one, because it's called wet foot, dry foot policy. Okay, come on, computer.
That doesn't make sense. How can you give asylum
Barack Obama is ending a long-standing immigration policy that allows Cubans who make it onto U.S. soil and to stay and become a legal resident, a senior administration official said on Thursday. The repeal of the wet foot, dry foot policy is effective immediately. Huh. It says January won't do anything about it. They just won't do anything about it.
Same thing for Cubans. It's just not drugs.
No. Cubans, their government is authoritative and they don't have any freedom to do anything. Anything. At least Mexicans have the freedom to have a drug cartel or to buy a house or to get a job or something like that. Cuba, no, you can't do that. It's a communist regime. They have a military that controls the people. In Mexico, they just have an inept government. And the drug cartels run, and they just sitting there collecting tax money. That's what they do. That's what Mexico is. I can understand if you're in like a really, really drug-heavy, gang-related area and you have no escape. Yeah, you can seek refugee status as long as you have proof to back it up, and a story to tell. But if you're just like, I want to be an asylum seeker because my husband beats me, no, please go sit down somewhere, get a divorce, or leave him. So that.
I don't understand how that's so hard.
It
Go
is what
get a divorce. Leave your husband. People do it over here all the time.
I know, but they don't think about that. So, all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and end it now. This was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. I just wish people would watch the same two people every time. But that's nothing.
I keep trying to tell you.
I do be doing it. No,
you don't. When was the last time you put out a video?
Oh my goodness, the video I understand, but okay. Well, I'll do it. I recorded a video, but I'm gonna delete that one and re-record it again because it's way too long. So
you can't just edit it.
No, I have to redo it because it's like super long. It's like an hour long. So yeah. So I'm going because I was going through each point in her platform thing, but I'm just gonna do like a few points this time, the major ones. Anyways, so yes, we're gonna end today. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully, the scheduled time and not late because we had some technical difficulties really. But anyway, so thanks for watching. JT, say good day or goodbye or whatever, and have a great day, y'all. And I will go do this.